Hello, beauties. So I wanted to come on here and spontaneously give you a tarot pick a card. I haven't done these for a while, and this is my first time doing video, so we'll see how it goes. This is going to be, unfiltered, no makeup, no editing. I'm just going to do it raw and see what comes through with my intuition and spirit and what is really being called for you today with the energy of, a new month starting and this full moon in Aquarius. And yeah, I just wanted to offer this as a gift for you all to connect with yourselves. So, before we choose what pile you are resonating with, I want you to find a comfortable place to sit and just go ahead and close your eyes and really connect in with yourself and with your breath. And there are three separate piles today. So we are going to just take a few deep breaths as you find your center, find your grounding, find your intuition within. Just ask yourself message what message is meant for you to hear today? What do you need to know? What will help you on your journey moving forward? When you feel connected with yourself, you can breathe your eyes open and look at the three different decks. Here is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. Let's go ahead and allow your intuition just to draw you to whatever pile resonates most. You don't have to worry about thinking too hard or figuring it out. Just what comes naturally to you, what is standing out for you. And then you will find the time descriptions below that you can jump right to that number to hear your message. All right, so pile number 1. Let's start with you. You have picked the pile that has the elk on the top. So let's look at this elk energy. And this whole pile for you had a lot of masculine energy, and not the gender of being male, but that energy that is very stable and powerful and driven. And that comes through here in our first card, the elk. See the elk as a rooted, grounded figure, in the earth, very stable, but also has these large antlers that reaches to the skies into that spirit world. So it is that that crossing between the mundane, the human, and the spirit that is held within this very strong energy here in the elk. It's really knowing who you are and how you are fully human and how you are fully divine as well. So yeah, let's see what tarot cards came up for you. I chose 3 tarot cards for this, and continuing on again with this masculine type of energy, we have the King of Cups. All right, so the King of Cups, it has a lot of emotional balance and emotional stability. You see he's very calm and peaceful in the waters that are flowing underneath him. And it has a lot of creativity that comes with it, the water and the cups representing creativity, and a lot of generosity. Just getting to the place of the King of Cups is knowing that you have been very blessed and fortunate and privileged in your life, and that it is time to pass that on and give that to others, and being very generous in all things. Your second card was the Chariot. Here we have the Chariot. And we see here in the chariot, there's a lot of energy moving forward, a lot of speeding ahead, and really determined. Like you see what you want in front of you and you go after it. And we also see that there are two different horses here. One is white and one is black. So it's that harnessing those dualities and the paradoxes and really bringing them together to move forward. Yes, that's really what's coming for you. And the third one is the Seven of Swords. All right, so the Seven of Swords can be about deception or trickery. So I want you to pay attention and look around you and really use that energy of the chariot to really see through things that may be a mask or maybe a facade, and use that King of Cups energy to really connect with your emotional stability and to know how strong you are, that you are able to, yeah, really, if any deception is revealed, that you have that stability and that emotional intelligence to make it through that. So it's a time maybe to be a little bit strategic and to really look what's underneath the surface. Don't take anything at surface value. Really look what's underneath. And this is sort of the age we are in now of fake news or those. Don't take any of that for face value, anything you read. Really connect with yourself, connect with your intuition, and really see what's underneath the shadows and what is really meant to come through. So yeah, as we see all of these three, like we see the very masculine energy coming through, a lot of like that really grounded rootedness, and that ability to just really push forward and see through what is a facade, what is a mask that somebody or something is wearing near you. All right, so then I chose one of the oracle cards that I chose was for you is sensual expression. So this sensual expression, yeah, it's really finding your pleasure. And it doesn't have to mean sexuality, although that is great. And if you find great pleasure in that, really, yeah, live into that sexual energy. But it could be what just makes your body feel good. What makes you feel good? Is it food? Is it being with a friend? Is it some connection you have? Is it dancing? This is really the card that is calling you to just let go of anything maybe society is asking you or has put on you, and really finding like, what makes me feel good? What gives me joy? And then coming out of that, being able to share it with the world, and not worrying about any criticism or judgment that may come, because damn, you are beautiful as you are, and your body is just the vessel of wondrous joy, and it's about time we had more people sharing that. So yeah, let's get into that energy and really feeling your sensuality and just embodying all of the senses that we have, everything we see and hear and smell and taste and feel, and all of the beauty that is available to us. Let's express that more. All right. The earth spirit that you got today is that of dawn, new beginnings. So it's that, take initiative, something that is just right on the horizon, and like maybe you can't see it yet. Maybe it's just the first sun ray or the first light that has reached above the horizon, but it's asking you to let go of that darkness that was behind, let go of the old, and enter into the slow process. Dawn, it happens so slowly that it's kind of hard to even notice, when the darkness when the night and the stars have fallen away and when it actually becomes day. So take your time, move slowly, and really just turn yourself towards those rays of light that are inviting you into whatever it is that again brings you joy, brings you pleasure. What are those things that those first rays of light that are calling you towards that, and follow it. All right, and then your mantra for today, or for this time being, my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. So how much faith do you have in the universe? How much faith do you have that it is there to protect you and love you and bring you joy? And yeah, just live into that and trust the universe, and the happiness and the joy will follow. All right, yeah, let me just have one last look at all of your cards together to see if anything else is coming through. Yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of that. Yeah, the stability, moving forward, seeing through all the facades that are around you and moving towards your joy and what brings you pleasure. And, more of that is going to come. I see that in this. More of that is going to come because the dawn leads to the day. So your pleasure and your joy is building as you build your faith and your trust in the universe. All right, so that is all I have for group number 1. Let's move on. All right, group number 2. Here we go. Group number 2, you chose the hummingbird. All right, so the hummingbird brings lots of positive energy, lots of enthusiasm, creativity, resourcefulness. Hummingbirds are able to fly many different places and know exactly where they need to go to get that nectar, that sweetness. And yeah, it's that ability to find that joy, that sweetness that they are so good at. And then even the way that they taking in that nectar and allowing it to be a positive influence. So what I'm really hearing right now is what are the things that you are putting in your body? Like what is your body calling you towards? Maybe your diet needs to be looked at, and are the things you're eating making you feel better, or do they make you feel worse? And even though some things may taste really good, maybe your coffee or sweets taste really good, but after you have them, maybe you don't feel too well. Take a look at that, and really let's focus on the things that are really nourishing for your body, and what is your body really calling you towards? What is that sweet nectar that is meant for your body that can be turned into something that feels really good in you, that you can then share that positive energy outward. All right, so let's look at your 3 tarot cards that I chose for you, or that Spirit chose for you. So the first one that came out was the Page of Wands. All right, the Page of Wands, it's this energy of newness, learning new skills, the beginnings of a creative project or something happening. And you see in this card, there is the energy of a cycle, right? And she's just at the very beginning of that energetic cycle that is going around. So it's about this energy of curiosity. So like what what right now are you curious about? What is inspiring you to be more creative? What's a new skill you want to learn? This energy is behind you to really dive into that and see and hold all the many different ideas and the energy that comes behind beginning something new. So take a look at what new skill, what new creation is ready to be birthed from you. All right, and the second card here is the Five of Wands. All right, so the Five of Wands we see here in this picture. Yeah, there's some competing energy. There's a big challenge. So these people are all trying to overcome some sort of challenge, and they find that they are in competition with one another. So notice maybe where this energy is coming from you. Maybe it's some energy of comparison. Are you comparing yourself to somebody else? Maybe on social media there are people that you are comparing yourself to, and sometimes it's even hard to tell, like when you're doing it, because it's so ingrained. And just to remember that everybody that you see on social media is a human being, and all have their own human expressions and needs, and what they're sharing is just fulfilling a part of their need and might not be, what's really going on for them. So yeah, let's really live into yourself, and what is the deepest expression that you have for yourself. And this energy of the Five of Wands is also like pushing through that challenge. So if you have a challenge, whether it is like that you're always comparing yourself to other people, or whether it's something at work or at school, or whatever challenge it is, this is the energy that can help you push through that challenge. You see all the wands in different angles, and really like that energy to clear them aside, and rise to the challenge. And yeah, it's that it's like there's a limit there that you're trying to overcome, and this energy will help you get there. All right, and the third one is the Nine of Pentacles. All right, so the Nine of Pentacles is like, the cycle is almost complete. 10 is the end of the cycle, and so 9, you're almost there. And it's this, all of the things start falling into place. This, all of your personal achievements, and Pentacles is very much a material aspects of our life. So within our business, or within our money, our finances, things are really starting to fall into place, and finding really that deep inner peace and meditative state, knowing that like everything you have accomplished is coming full circle, and it's a time to really celebrate that harvest, that harvest energy that things are manifesting. And what I found really interesting was all three of your cards really moved in that cycle. So we have, the page is the beginning of the cycle. It's like that beginning stages of creativity and learning new skills. And then the Five of Wands is that energy of, pushing through the challenges, and like even like when things start to get difficult, and it just feels like sometimes you're like on that rat race, and just like those things you just have to do. This is the energy that will get you through it, and push you through to finally reaching towards the end, and that final step of the journey to really completing what it is. So yeah, so you're like harnessing the energy of the whole cycle here. Except for the last piece would be the piece of rest. And so maybe, yeah, maybe that's where you are now. Maybe you are in the state of rest, and you're being asked to begin that new cycle, and what is coming through for that. All right, and an oracle card that was chosen for you is final step. So again, that nine of Pentacles energy, that final step. Yeah, just that reassurance that you are on the right path, the path that you have taken or are about to begin is the right path and will get you there to the final step. And we see this little mouse, ready to, yeah, or has gotten to the final step. And that time, maybe there's like one last push, one last thing that you need to do, and maybe that comes with doubt and fear, and you're wondering like, how am I gonna make it? Like the end seems so far, but I think actually when you finally take that step and just trust, then you'll see that the end isn't so far away, and that you are able and capable, totally capable of completing whatever you want to complete. Um, yeah, you can do it. All right, and then the earth spirit energy that you got today is the eagle communion. All right, so this is like, yeah, how are you communicating with the world around you? Either what energy are you giving off that people or things are understanding? So, like, our communication with the earth, like, how are you communicating that you care for the earth or you don't care for the earth, depending on what practices you have, whether that is nourishing for the earth or whether it is detrimental. So look at that communication that you are having, your communication with other people. Are you often like the person that is talking and often thinking like, oh, what can I say next, what can happen next? And I know that is so natural, but might be calling you to take a step back and do some listening and really listen to what the other person is saying and understanding their perspective and what they are going through, instead of always just thinking, oh, what can I say next? And this is also the energy of like, how are you communicating with the other world, with the spirit world, with the spirit that is in the trees and in the birds and in the eagle, with the flowers and the plants and the air, the wind, like whatever it is. How are you communicating? Do you spend any time just sitting with your back against a tree? Have you ever talked to a tree or an animal or a plant? What does it say back to you? Maybe this is an invitation for you in this time in your journey to really spend some more time in communication with more plants and animals, and yeah, really learning how to listen and what they are trying to speak to you. All right, and your mantra for now is: the moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome to the moment, that the universe can truly get to work. The moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. All right, so let's take a look at that. All right, so this is about letting go, really letting go of the expectations and trusting that you are being held. The universe is holding you. There is a network of people and the earth that is holding you through this, whatever you're dealing with, and especially if you're in that final step of completing something, that you can let it go and trust that it will get done, and it is for a greater good. Yeah. All right. Let me just have one final look at all your cards to see if anything else is coming through here. Yeah, so yeah, what I'm actually feeling is that there's something going on that you need to overcome right now. Like there's something that is just really just needs completion. What is that one thing that just really needs completion right now? Whether it is a relationship, maybe you need to wrap up and let go of a relationship, or whether it is something at school, whether it is something with your family or with work. I really feel that yeah, there's a challenge there that you're having difficulty overcoming and getting to the last step, but really choosing to trust and maybe finding that communication with the other world, with the spirit in the world of the plants and animals will help you um, really find that, and yeah, will help you get through that challenge and come through to the other side, your final step, and really be able to celebrate that completion. So I wish you the best in that journey, in this last little journey that you are on. All right, so thank you, group number 2. Let's move on to group number 3. All right, group number 3, you chose the whale. So here's the whale. All right, so the whale. It's this energy of diving deeper, finding wisdom and peace. Yeah, and not being afraid of that, not being afraid of the shadows, the depth of the ocean that is very dark. Because you have this other sense, the whales have that sense, and they're able to communicate over long distances and feel those vibrations in the water, knowing that they're not alone, and knowing that there is something else, otherworldly, something deeper within the ocean that is meant to be discovered. So yeah, I think you were drawn to this card because there is something within you that wants to be discovered, and all you have to do is say yes and not be afraid and be ready to dive into the deep, and you will find more wisdom and more peace when you discover it. All right, so let's look at your 3 tarot cards. Yeah, you guys got a pretty powerful pull this time with one of my favorites, the High Priestess. All right, look at that goddess. Yeah, so the High Priestess energy of connecting to your dreams, visions, this psychic intuition. It's like this deep connection with the other world, with the spirit world, with your divine nature, your divine human nature. It's a time to look for those synchronicities that may be happening around you. What things are aligning? What are you seeing in the numbers, in the words, in communication with others, in the earth? Like, what is coming together to speak to you? And really open yourself up to that, and even pray or ask for spirit, for the universe to guide you into seeing those things that are there and meant for you to see and connect with, because this energy is behind you. And we can also find that in taking more time to meditate and find solitude and stillness, and really find that what is within us, that spirit that is within us, is within all beings, and all beings, all things that are sacred. That we can connect with that whenever we find that quiet stillness, and follow that intuition that we have. All right, the next one you got was the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands, we've got that fulfillment. Maybe it's a time of waiting for the cycle to complete, waiting for results to happen, and that seeing them, you see, she's looking like right out into the horizon. It's like she knows it's coming, it's just not quite there yet. And it's that patience that we can have while waiting for something to be fulfilled in our life, and that it's okay that it's not quite here yet, but there's still that energy of like moving forward, like we're not giving up because we know that it's coming and we know that it's there. And so we're not giving up, and we're just going to keep on moving forward because we know that it will be fulfilled soon. That is the energy of the Three of Wands. So yeah, what in your life that like you're just ready to give up now, but um yeah, but you know that it is meant. You know it is meant to be a part of your journey, a part of your path. And how can you um find that peace and that stability in the waiting and knowing? How can you look towards that horizon, and see that it is going to happen, even if it's not happening now, and trusting in that. All right, and the last tarot card you got was the Two of Pentacles. All right, so as we see here, there is some, balance happening. We have the Two Pentacles, and that the duality between the white and the red pentacle, and how they are, twirling them around and finding that balance and that flow between the two of them. So it's really like seeking out that harmony, and really being able to adapt and be flexible. And maybe that's coming in with this the Three of Wands as well, that you're in that waiting period, but you know it's going to happen. So we have to find that balance in the waiting period. And it's that paradox, holding on to the holding on to trusting that something will happen, yet it hasn't happened yet. And finding that balance between the what is and the what is not yet. And really being able to, I see the flowing energy here. Really being able to find that flowing, balancing energy as we are holding these two, dualities, these paradox. And another thing that can really help that is connecting to that High Priestess energy, that meditative, contemplative, quiet energy that really, really builds our resilience to holding the complexities of life and the paradoxes in life and the horrible things that we see and hear about, and knowing that still within those there is, there can be love and there can be peace, and that it is possible even if it's not here yet. That's really the energy that I'm feeling with these three cards. And especially, now with the energy that's happening now with unearthing, racism and white supremacy and all of that. And and what is that for you? What is within you now that right now it's not okay, but that it's possible in the future for it to be fulfilled and beautiful and joyful? And how can you hold the complexities and the paradoxes of the beauty of the earth and of people with the hatred that is also shown, and the destruction of the earth, and coming into that High Priestess energy, and really learning more and more how to connect our human self and all of the ugliness and all of the difficulties and grunt work that we have to get through to find the beauty of our spirit self and our divine self, and knowing that that is within each person. Every person holds this paradox of light and darkness, of beauty and destruction. And so how are you holding that within yourself, and how are you able to hold that when you see it in other people? All right. Oh, and continuing on with that, the oracle card that you got was Pleasure and Bane. So that same energy, that holding of the paradox, and when we see the pain, that so many people, especially, people of the Black, Indigenous, people of color, that pain that their community is experiencing, and the pain that we all hold within, even I as a white raced person holding the pain that my ancestors have caused by being colonizers and um, being white supremacist, and that energy is held within my body, and I have to figure out how to hold that, and how to find healing for that, and how to move towards the pleasure, because as a white race person holding holding all of those things and knowing that it's possible for the things my ancestor did also within me is very painful, and that moving through that pain into the pleasure, healing that pain in moving into the pleasure, is also going to be, healing those past hurts and harmful and terrible, absolute horrendous things that my ancestors have done, um, in this country of the United States. But enough about me. What is that for you? Yeah, what is that? What is the pain that you are holding? What has been passed down from generations and generations that you are holding? What is, something traumatic or shameful that has happened in your life that is now asking or inviting to be healed, and taking that one step towards pleasure? We have all of these keys within us, and by what we are experiencing and what we are doing, we can choose to turn the key that turns towards pleasure. What key within you is going to open the door to pleasure, and finding that joyfulness, that happiness, that peace that is within you, that ultimately, when we take steps closer towards that pleasure, then the pain is going to be healed slowly, slowly, slowly. Yeah, that's all right. So you guys, you did get um, a pretty deep few cards here. And it just continues. So the earth spirit that you got is fog, veiled. All right. So yeah, this is also like that energy of the paradox. It's a bit mysterious because we can't quite figure it out. There's a fog around it. Um, yeah. So what is that for you? What is there a fog around that you can't quite put your finger on? You can't quite figure out what's going on. Yeah, and it's that liminal in between space. It is that space of possible confusion and uncertainty. You don't know how to move from pain to pleasure. You don't know how to hold the complexities of beauty and destruction to people and to the earth. Um, and yeah, that fog is there. As you see though in here, like, still the sun rays are able to peek through the fog, and yeah, they might look distorted, or they might look clouded, and you can't see it quite clearly. If you can stay in that space, holding the space of the fog is what is going to build more resiliency within you as well. um, Sitting in the midst of the uncertainty, sitting in the midst of confusion, um, finding, being able to find that space to really find your meditation and your contemplation, to hold the dualities of life, is what is gonna be able to lift that fog and allow you to see clearly, and you're gonna come through it with such a greater resiliency. So, like, this is your sacred call for this part of your journey, to really find time to meditate, be still, be quiet, and just search what is within. All right, and then your mantra for this time. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. Oh, there you go. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. All right, so we see there, it's just the moon. It's all cloudy, you know? And whenever we can really see that divine beauty within ourselves amidst with all of the pain that we hold, with all of the you know, destructible things we do to ourselves and the world. But whenever we can see through that and find that inner light, find that inner peace, that inner beauty, then we can start to see that in other people. We can start to see that in other things that happen around the world, and seeing through a lens of love and knowing that nothing is black and white. Nothing is black and white. There is complexity to everything. And yes, standing up for the things that we see that aren't right, but also knowing that that's not the whole story and that there is a layer of love. There is a core of love within each of us, and it may be covered and clouded and, you know, covered in that fog and covered in all the complexities and everything. But within, you know, the deepest core, we are love, we are divine. And whenever we can see that in ourselves, we can begin to see that in others and other people and other things in the earth. All right, let me just have one last look, but I think that's, yeah. Yeah, that's the full energy I'm getting, is that you're holding a lot of dualities. You're beginning to see a lot of those paradoxes in life and within yourself, and your sacred tasks are trying to move from pain to pleasure, and by doing that through meditation and contemplation, and like really not being afraid to dive deeper within and finding that wisdom and that inner peace that you really hold to overcome and see through that fog that may be clouding things, and knowing, trusting that it is being fulfilled, that the horizon is there, you can see it, and there will be a time where you'll be able to see clearly. The lights will guide you into seeing clearly past this fog that you may have within, to seeing that lens of love. All right, so that's all for group number 3. Thank you all for being here, and I just wish you all the beautiful blessings that you can hold.